Hello, my name's Bill and I'm an alcoholic, and today's show is called Mushrooms. Mushrooms. You either love them or you're not too keen on them. Some of my grandchildren hate them. I can eat them raw, fried, cooked, on toast. I love them. I could eat them all day long. Mushrooms have to be one of my favourite foods. I would eat them over meat, and I suppose I prefer them to many other things, probably most other things. And that's the thing about mushrooms. Whilst they're scrumptious to me, not everyone else thinks the same. And as much as I love them raw or cooked, if I eat the wrong ones, I can die. And in a way, that's how mushrooms compare to a recovery from alcoholism. To stop drinking long term and to turn my life around requires determination. It's about following a set of well-defined steps, about having some enthusiasm and respect. It's about repeating over and over again what we're told to do one day at a time, just for today. Easy does it. Go to meetings, call your sponsor, do as you're told. And it requires not giving up. Recovery is a series of lots of little surrenders where the word stick-to-itiveness and not deviating from my chosen path is the key to long-term sobriety. There are a few key markers I have to adhere to in order for my sober days to turn into sober weeks and sober months and sober years and sober decades. Those key markers are simple, they're unapologetic, they're necessary, and they're also very straightforward. I need to stick to the steps. I need to stick to what is suggested and not go back to my old way of thinking that I know best. Because old behaviour is never going to be old behaviour if we're still doing it. And if I do start to wander off the chosen path, if I do start to look for alternatives, or if I do start to look for an easier, softer way, I'm putting my sobriety and therefore my life at risk. Like the mushrooms in the supermarkets, if I stay with what's tried and tested, if I stay with what I can trust, if I stay with what I know is safe and secure, and if I stay with what I know works, I'm pretty well assured that all in my life will be okay. And in my recovery, I can, if I want, I can step outside of the box if I wish. But I do so at my peril. I can look at alternative recoveries. I can wander away from what I know works. I can try and find an easier, softer solution. But choosing alternatives in life, whilst it can be fun, should really carry a health warning. So be careful. Because that's where sobriety and that's where mushrooms are inextricably linked. If you wander too far from what you know is good and healthy, you may be okay. You could go and pick some mushrooms in the field and do it 100 times and all could be well. Or you may not pick the right ones. but you may not know until it's too late. Some mushrooms disguise themselves to look like the harmless varieties. And other mushrooms are harmless, but they look no different. And that's the same as some areas of recovery that are out there. But knowing which ones are okay, which ones work, and which ones have a proven track record, that is the problem. In AA, I stick to what I know is good for my sobriety. I stick to what I know has worked for those that have gone before me. I stick to a 12-step recovery program that I know has given members of Alcoholics Anonymous many weeks and months and years and decades of sobriety. And today I don't take risks, nor do I venture into areas I think I could deal with, but actually they could spell disaster for me. I don't walk down the aisles of supermarkets where drink is sold. I try not to engage in gossip. I steer clear of confrontation. And I do try daily to hand over those things that I can't deal with. I call my sponsor. I go to meetings. But I don't go to the pub anymore. I don't go near anything to do with alcohol because it singularly nearly destroyed my life and the life of my family. And I do all of these things one day at a time, one thing at a time. I stick with the higher power I know that works for me. And I try not to think bigger and better. I accept what I've got, that it works, and get away from old behaviour where everything had to be bigger and better and faster. I must always remember that the grass is not always greener on the other side. If I go looking for mushrooms I can't identify, believe you me, I'm going to find them. If I go looking for anything in my life that I shouldn't be looking for, I'll find it. If I take risks with my life, 9 times out of 10, I'm probably going to be all right. But one day, just one day, my luck may run out. It may not. But once my luck has run out, there's no going back. If I spin the dice of chance often enough, I always have to ask myself, do I feel lucky today? I did it for 25 years. Every time I got in the car when I was drunk and I was driving, every time I went out for a drink, who knows what would have happened? Every time I did some stupid, dangerous things, I didn't know whether I'd be alive the next morning. But I had that gung-ho attitude of, it'll be all right. But today, now I'm sober, I have to ask myself, do I feel lucky every day of my life? And luck really has nothing to do with sobriety. Luck and judgment and miracles are all things that really can't be explained. So I'm not going to put my sobriety on a pedestal where it could very easily fall off. So just for today, I'm feeling good because I'm doing as I'm told and not what I think. I'm doing what I should do and not what sometimes I think I ought to do. I'm doing what's tried and tested and not what isn't tried and tested. Recovery is easy if you eat your mushrooms from a reputable source. Recovery is easy if you eat what everybody else is eating and not chance your luck. And my spiritual guide is only as good as the company it keeps. So that's me just for today. And that's been my experience of, do I feel lucky, or should I just do what everybody else is doing? And that's my experience just for today, for what it's worth. Build the shirt, Bristol.